The book I authored was written for every parent, head of family, or group leader that wants to give their children or their family or their group the best out of their visit to Washington, D.C.'s monuments, memorials, and museums, but doesn't necessarily know where to start. Hi, I'm Barry, and if you want to succeed in your visit to Washington, D.C., then I have good news. Many people guiding their families or groups to Washington, D.C.'s monuments, memorials, and museums have the mistaken idea that seeing D.C. without guidance or planning is really easy, but that's not really the case. Things are not laid out like Disney World or Disneyland. Things aren't intuitive. And if you're a parent or group leader who wants their family or group to get the most out of their DC visit, then this book could be the solution. This book is a Tricycle Pilot's Guide to Visiting Washington, D.C.'s National Mall, which gives you and your family the best possible time seeing the Washington, D.C.'s monuments, museums, the White House, and the Capitol. A Tricycle Pilot's Guide to Visiting Washington, D.C.'s National Mall makes it simple for you to get an understanding of how to visit D.C. without having a professional planner or to create a full itinerary in advance. The book will allow you to leverage the time you have in Washington, D.C. to see what will both inspire and teach your family or group. It will show you the places to eat while visiting the monuments, memorials, the White House, and the Capitol, including places that kids will eat, as well as vegetarian and vegan options, places with kosher food, and restaurants foodies will love. Plus, I include the restaurants that are really close to the museums and the rest of the National Mall. Speaking of which, why did they call it mall? You'll find out in my book, and much, much more. For example, this book covers where to easily park while visiting Washington, D.C.'s National Mall. This is the top question visitors have. There are some excellent options, but most visitors don't know them. If you don't want to use your car, what are the other options for getting to the National Mall or for getting around to see the monuments, memorials, museums, and the White House and the Capitol? My book has practical answers. With the Tricycle Pilot's Guide, you'll know the full scope of options available to you and your family or group so they get the most out of their DC visit. With this book, you don't have to worry about missing details regarding visiting DC, including where to go, where to park, where to eat, and what to see. This also means you're not stuck feeling like you're wasting precious time figuring out where to go and what to see. A lot of people get to DC and realize, whoa, it's not that easy. You'll benefit from using a Tricycle Pilot's Guide to visiting Washington, D.C.'s National Mall as soon as you receive your copy. Again, visiting Washington, D.C. is unlike Disneyland. There are not any easy instructions for knowing what to do. Until now. You won't need a personal concierge to help you figure out the best things to do while visiting Washington, D.C. This book is divided into what you should know and what you should do. In the book, I cover fun stuff for kids to do, hidden gems and secret places, how to get around with dogs in D.C., the National Mall at night, and touring the National Mall with mobility impairment and special needs, and much, much more. A Tricycle Pilot's Guide also gives vital details about the monuments, memorials, museums, and other buildings you'll find on the National Mall. Over my 13 plus years as a private tour guide and running 3 tour companies with tours conducted via Tricycle, otherwise known as pedicab, as well as scooter, bus, van, and on foot, I have distilled down the top information that people need to know about visiting Washington, D.C.'s National Mall. A Tricycle Pilot's Guide to Visiting Washington, D.C.'s National Mall's guidance makes it simple and easy for you to get the most out of you and your families or your group's Washington, D.C. visit. So the book comes in a PDF digital version and as a physical book. The digital option is complete, but needs additional editing before release. The physical version is almost ready to print, and what you see here is a proof copy. Once the edits are complete, the printer will take about a week to get them to me, and then I'll send them via media mail to the address you provide. There is another option you should know about. Key facts in the book were distilled down to a collection of fantastic infographics we have created. This makes it easy to reference on your phone or iPad while you're actually visiting Washington, D.C., or you can print them out. I truly believe that these materials may hold the key to you and your family's or your group's success in your Washington, D.C. visit.